Okay, welcome one and all. Stephanie Treasure here. It's Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to Let's Talk Business Growth Live. I'm your host for this weekly live stream and the founder of this Facebook group where you're watching this, the Marketing Strategies to Grow and Scale group. And I am excited to be here. I know that over the past few months, we have welcomed lots of new faces. So as you join me, if this is the first time that you're tuning in, or if you're new to the group or you've tuned in before but you haven't been that plugged in, either way, or if you've been here for a while but haven't seen the live streams, either way, I want to welcome you to this. I'm really excited to be here. I love doing these each week. Each time I do these trainings, I'm bringing nuggets of wisdom to you based on what's working in my business or what's working for my clients, or I give you a little sneak peek, as will be the case today, in terms of, kind of a fly on the wall insight into some conversations that I'm having with other or colleagues or fellow entrepreneurs behind the scenes that I feel that you can benefit from as well. Things that I'm learning or working through, best practices, what I'm hearing from conversations that I'm having with you who are a part of this community, but you're not necessarily clients. And I feel like it's a lesson, based on the advice that I've given you, I feel like it's a lesson that others can learn from as well. These are the kind of things that I share. It's all around things to support you to grow your business, to scale your business, to have more visibility, build a recognizable brand, to be able to have financial freedom, be able to pour into causes that matter to you, all the things that will help you to grow, not only as it relates to your business, but as it relates to your life. So I encourage you to, set a timer or set a reminder in your phone or on your using your Google Calendar or whichever calendar you use to tune in here every Tuesday at 11 a.m. Eastern, so that you can plug into this, or if you're not able to make it live each Tuesday, if you have a standing arrangement or appointment, make it a point to tune in at some point during the replay in the day. I normally send an email that I'm going live, so you'll have that as your cue that something's happening today. And then at some point, come in and tune in. So for those of you that did come in here at a later time, you're watching the replay, welcome to you as well. It's really good to see you. So I'm going to check my audio, and then I'm going to reintroduce myself, and then I'm going to jump into today's topic. So I always like to check to make sure that everything's working, because technology is great and it works until sometimes it doesn't. So I want to make sure, okay, great, I can hear and see myself. Okay, great. So the live is working. I can hear audio, which I just checked, and I can also see myself. So again, for those of you that are new to me, I want to introduce myself, and then I'm going to jump into the topic that I have for you, as well as an event that I want to tell you a little bit more about. So I'm Stephanie Treasure, and I'm a marketing and business coach to ambitious coaches and consultants, where I support you to create a recognizable brand and an authority level online presence. I want for you to be seen and known and respected by the persons who are already following you, or people who are coming into knowing who you are, so that as soon as they hear about you, they come across your presence, they already see you and deem you as an expert in your area of expertise, which most likely is related to the solution that they're looking for. I want you to show up powerfully whenever you're found online, not just from an aesthetic standpoint in terms of how you look, but there are some other things that go a little bit deeper that I teach my clients. And I help you to grow and scale six-figure businesses that fuels your lifestyle and make an impact. So my clients are usually able to create something that's not just for them in terms of a business that supports them, paying the bills and helps them to have a decent lifestyle, but they're very, very passionate about growing a business that makes an impact with the work that they do. And as you're watching this, tell me if you can relate. Comment below with the word impact. If it really means a lot to you, that others know or are touched by the work that you do, or your movement, or your message, the powerful work that you're doing to change people's lives. My clients are passionate about that, very passionate about their work, and can have a tendency to pour into their work so much that before we meet, they're on the verge of burnout. But what I help you to do is to take charge of your time and not only create money successes and financial freedom, but also time freedom, so that you can take care of yourself, so that you can give to other passions that means a lot to you outside of business, and really enjoy a truly well-lived and enjoyable life, that by the time you're, at the end of this journey, you're tattered and torn, and you've been working and not working, but enjoying up until the last minute before you say goodbye to those that you love. Okay. So this is behind the work that I do, and if you want to say, you can say that I have my own movement in terms of what the work that I want to do to support you to create that business that you love, to give back to your family, to give back to your community and the causes that mean a lot to you. That fuels me, that drives me to keep going each day as well. So, and I work with, as I mentioned before, clients who are coaches, consultants, creative experts, service-based business owners, and service providers. And I am excited about some things that are coming up this month, that I'm going to be sharing a little bit more about later. But specifically this week, I want for you, before I dive into what I want to share with you today, there is an event that I announced via email yesterday, which is called the Coaches Roundtable and Webinar Hybrid. So those of you that have been following me for a while, and maybe you've had an opportunity to attend one of my gatherings, I host these coaches roundtables from time to time, very high level gatherings and conversations on a closed door Zoom, to either talk about what's working now, talk about a specific area, whether it's visibility, marketing, sales, mindsets, growing. I bring I bring some of you here in this community together for those roundtables, and we have some high-level discussions. Everybody usually leaves with some insight and advice as it relates to their own businesses. And I'm doing something this Friday that's going to be roundtable style, where we are going to have some powerful discussions around working through what's not working now. And there's a few things that are not working now that I'm going to dive into here in this live stream, but we're going to talk about what's not working now, as well as have each person share what's working for them, so that you can get some insight and what some of the others on the call have worked through, and I'll share what I am working through as well. Then I'm going to share with you a webinar presentation around what I find to be working, the key areas that you need to focus on in order to still be able to achieve amazing results. Because as much as I've sat in on many conversations with people saying that things are not working as they used to, or like they used to, in terms of, people, entrepreneurs who have been tracking their business results and their sales results and their marketing results over time. They know the things that work and the kind of numbers that's supposed to bring about, and yet they're not achieving it, but they're still doing well in their businesses, while others are, knocking the ball out of the park in terms of the results that they're creating. So I'm going to share with you a webinar in terms of some key things to focus on, that no matter what's going on, those are some tenets and foundational pillars that fuel marketing and sales, so that you can implement that in your own business and be able to see your way through, even through this patch of, things are not working as they should. Okay. So I've put the link in this live stream for you to join me on this Coaches Roundtable. I'll actually put it here again. It's going to be this Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. So let me, oops. Okay, so I've put the link in the comment section of this live stream so that you can access it easily. And let me see if I can pin that. Okay, so I've put the link to the, so basically on this edition of the Coaches Roundtable, I am going to be limiting the amount of people that can join us, or capping the amount of people that can join us to 20 people. Okay, so I'm making it very intimate. And I really want for you to be there if you are a coach who is actively, you're hosting launches, or you're sending out email sequences, or, utilizing other means that you would normally do in the scheme of things in order to power your visibility, your marketing, your sales, and those things are not working like they should. So you're an active coach or consultant, you are seeing clients, you're getting referrals, and even that feels like it's drying up or not coming in as much as you'd like, but you are able to enroll clients and work with clients from time to time. It's just that things could be better, things probably have been better, or you're really looking to make a massive growth spurt. This would be a perfect gathering for you to be a part of, in terms of how you'll be able to interact with the other people who are in a similar situation, as well as what you learn in the webinar presentation that I'm going to teach in this roundtable. So I've put the form that you see here, that I've either put in, you see it in the caption, and I've also put in the comment section, where I'm asking you to apply to answer some questions from that form, so that I know that you're interested in coming, and I'll personally get back to you by Wednesday, which is tomorrow, either Wednesday late or early Thursday morning, to let you know if you're going to be able to sit with us. So it's best if you know that you're going to be available on Friday at 3 p.m. Even if you're not going to be available, you can still complete the form, but indicate that you may not be able to attend this one, so that I'll know that if I do this again, I can consider you for the next gathering. Okay. But I want to keep it intimate, and I want to keep it with, I want it to be a room of active coaches who are working their businesses, who are seeing clients, who are actually, taking steps, possibly your usual activities, or maybe you're trying a few new things to bring in more sales, but you're not getting the kind of results that you like. So that because you're active and you're in it, you'll be able to be a part of the conversation, to contribute. You'll be able to receive insights and feedback, and be able to implement. And you'll certainly learn from the webinar presentation that I will be hosting. Okay, so click on the form. That's either you access it from the comment section or from the caption of this live stream, and I will get back to you. Okay, so I wanted to say that first. So as you can see here from the caption, what I want to talk to you about today is how to work through the "it's not working" or "nothing's working" stage or phase, and achieve big results. If it's one thing that I know for sure, is that in business and life, nothing is going to just be even keel and just everything go according, everything goes smoothly, and for 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, you're just doing the same things, and even though you're doing the same things, everything's working. Maybe you grow a little bit, as you do those things, but nothing changes, right? If it's one thing that is constant, is that everything, there's always going to be changes to our economy, changes in the environment, changes in buyer behavior, changes in media, like social media and the various platforms, or the little changes within the platforms themselves. As you notice, Facebook is they're not saving live streams like this anymore. In order to they're not gonna, you're gonna have to download all your live streams. They'll only stay on the platform for 30 days. Lots of things are changing, right? If it's one thing that's constant, is change. And so as it relates to business, things are going to change from time to time, as it relates to the results that you can expect to receive from various strategies that you're doing. And so there's always going to be a phase where things don't work as well as they should. And it's for you as an entrepreneur, as a CEO, as a serious business owner, to ride the waves, to see your way through it, to stand firm, as well as stand flexible, as you'll see what I mean in some of the tips I want to share with you, so that you can work through it and still continue to achieve your sales targets and your business goals, and continue to grow your business year over year. Okay, so what I have prepared for you here are a few tips that let me see here. Where did I put that point? Anyway, I have a few tips that I'm going to share with you around how to work through this stage and still achieve big results. And I was inspired to do this because I am a part of a community, a paid community that it's a community of 6 and 7 figure and even 8 figure business owners, and we or entrepreneurs, and we from time to time will have discussions around kind of pooling our insight with each other in terms of what's working and what's not working. And in this case, it was around hosting virtual events, and what it's taking these days to have the kind of conversion numbers that you predict or that you'd like to achieve from hosting these events. And this community has had a few what's not working, or think these things are not working right now. Let's get together, talk about it, see, get some feedback from others who have done their events or done their launches, what worked for them, what didn't work for them. And those insights have been really powerful. So I wanted to put together a few things for you today in terms of what to do if you find yourself in a phase where there's aspects of your business, whether it's sales, client acquisition and sales, or marketing or visibility, that's not working for you as you had hoped, or had in the way that it has worked before, in the way that you want it to work, for the kind of results you're looking to achieve, for the growth that you're looking to have in your business. I want to share with you how to work through that with 4 tips that I've put together for you today. Okay. So the first tip that I want to share with you, when you find yourself in a phase where things are just doesn't seem to be working, you're stuck, you're feeling stuck, you're feeling, you feel like you could be spiraling, although you're trying to hold it together and stay positive, but things are just obviously not working. So one thing that you can do is to review. One thing I recommend anyway is that you review and refine your tracking systems to see if they're actually not working, or if there is another factor at play that's yielding the kind of results where if you look at the results only, you'll say that this didn't work. This launch was supposed to bring in X amount of, it's supposed to be a 50K launch, or it was supposed to help us to bring in 10 clients, but we fell short of that. This is not working. Okay. Many times what I have found, and this is from my years of, my own business, being in the back end of many launches by my clients and otherwise, where if you look at the numbers closely, the numbers have done what the numbers are supposed to do. The numbers are favorable in terms of the stats. Is the outcome what you'd like it to be? No. But if you know that the stats make sense and it actually works, then you know that you can look at certain aspects of the process to see, okay, so if it worked, by and large, this worked. But if this is the outcome that I want, then I need to, do something different. Okay, so for instance, let's just say, just to make it more practical, I know that sounds a lot very jargony and very, theoretical. So on a practical level, let's just say that you had a launch where your launch vehicle was a masterclass, and you do have an email list. let's just say your email list was 5,000. And let's just say that 150 people signed up for your masterclass. And some people seem to have been paying attention and engaging somewhat, although you would have preferred to see more people show up or more people open the emails or whatever the case might be. And then let's just say 5 people actually, and let me just make sure, because I thought of this before I came live. And then let me see, 5 divided by, oops, 0.05. Oops, my numbers lock is not on. 0.05 times 7%. Yeah, something seems to be wrong with my numbers because I don't think that's right. Oh, you know what? It should be 0.03 times 50. Okay. Yeah. So you have a list of, say, 5,000 and 150 people signed up for the masterclass. And then you were, at the end of the day, you were pitching a program and 5 people signed up for that program. If you do the math, because I did this already, the conversion rate is about 3%. Now, when it comes to launches, your conversion rate can be anything from 1% to 5% in terms of the amount of people that will sign up for your paid offer versus the number of people that signed up for the conversion event. So if 150 people signed up and 5 people became clients, then that's a 3% conversion, which is right there in the middle between 1% and 5%. So that's a decent conversion rate. But in the scheme of things, you may say, but I wanted more than 5 people. Okay. So knowing that the event converted, because if 150 people signed up and for the conversion event and 5 people became clients, which is a 3% conversion, there's something about the event that allowed you to get, in terms of running the event and your launch sequence, that allowed you to get a 3% conversion rate. But you wanted more than 5 people. So here is where the less you can learn from this. If you had more than 150 people sign up, so you doubled that and still had a 3% conversion rate, then it would have been 6 people that would have become clients, okay? If you double that figure, maybe then it would have been 12 people, okay? So at least, things may not have seemed to work in the sense where you didn't get the amount of people signed up or the revenue that you wanted to get from that launch. But when you really look at the numbers the numbers were favorable, right? But it's aspects of it that may have been low, may have fallen short. So at least you with that knowledge, you can go back and say, all right, so what can we do to have a bigger number at the top so that when we trickle down, we meet the target that we wanted to hit, okay? So before you deem yourself as being in the nothing is working phase, check your stats. Are you marketing? Are you enough? Or are you promoting your conversion events? Are you having your conversion events? Or how are you doing in the conversion event itself? Okay, so look at all the factors before you say that things are not working. Okay, so sometimes it can be as simple as that. Like I said, things are different. Things are a little wonky right now, but that's at the very beginning. Just start with that and see, okay, I didn't have the kind of launch that I wanted, but let's just see what the launch numbers looked like so that I can know what I need to influence, what I need to do better at in order to make it more favorable to me. Okay, so that's the first thing. The second thing, so comment number 1, if that has been you, where, yeah, if you are being honest, you realize that you're not tracking as you should be. You're not really paying attention to the numbers. You're just looking at the bottom line. You're just looking at the money or the client number and not really tracking each part of the stats. Maybe you're saying you have your head in the clouds. You don't like numbers, but if you're being real with yourself as a CEO, the numbers are important. You don't need to go all into statistics and know the mean and the median and all these things, but you do need to at least know some to work out these basic numbers, so that you can see how your activities are paying off, okay? Or how your result, how your different activities, how are they performing, okay? So the second thing is to get curious and be open to pivoting and testing. Get curious and be open to pivoting and testing. So when you are in that phase where it seems like nothing is working, okay, again, before you go right into doom and gloom, get a little bit curious. Start asking some questions. As they would say, some people when they talk like this, they say, play devil's advocate, right? Let's just pretend that we were in the room and you're telling me what's going on with you, and I say, all right, I'm going to play devil's advocate. Why did such and such, or did you do this, or did you do that? And I ask you some pointed questions. If you have a business partner or a business bestie, you can have a conversation with them and ask them to play devil's advocate with you. Or you can ask yourself the serious questions. Ask yourself the questions that will cause you to probe and go deeper to see what exactly is happening here. What could be at play? What are some of the factors? Did I really market that launch the way that I should? Or was I really passionate about that offer? Did I really want to deliver that offer? Maybe the psychology behind doing the offer was so much for me, I didn't really want to deliver it. And so my energy wasn't in it. And that's why it didn't sell, right? So be open, be curious and open to, based on what you come back with, say to yourself, all right, maybe I need to pivot. Maybe I need to tweak my messaging. Maybe I need to tweak the offer. Maybe, that offer is not the best. Maybe the target is not the best. Maybe the outcome is, I need to tweak that. What if I were to test something different? Okay. You are used to doing something the same way all the time, or offer the same offer, or do the same kind of a launch, or offer the same price point. What if you just got really real and say, all right, let me just test something different. Let me just test something new. Okay. So be curious and open to pivoting, shifting, as the case might be, and just doing some testing and see what comes back to see if this is a permanent shift that you need to make in your business, or just a temporary tweak based on the circumstances or what your audience is feeling and feeling into what's happening in the marketplace, etc. Okay, so that's number 2. The third piece is to double down on your mindset work. Okay, again, when things are not working, it can really be frustrating. Very real emotions can come up when you're in a phase where things are not working like they used to, or like they should, or you think that they should, or how you'd like for things to work. Because sometimes we get so harped on a certain way of doing things, so married to it, so close to it, that going back to the last point, you don't want to pivot, you don't want to test, you want to hang on to that. And then things don't work. And then you go into doom and gloom. You get frustrated, you get angry, you start to question yourself and your ability to do the work that you're doing, or the ability to do the marketing that needs to be done. You start to doubt your processes or your systems, or what's happening in the marketplace, or whether or not your business can ever get through this. And as I'm saying this, I'm sure as you're hearing it, it all sounds like irrational fears and irrational thoughts, okay? But yes, our mind does go there. And so it's for you to be sure to double down on your mindset work, because this is where it counts even more, okay? So if you don't have a mindset routine, create one. If you do, but you've fallen off the wagon, get back on it. But do some things whatever, there's many. I won't even go into all the things out there, but some of the things that I like to do are tapping, breath work, journaling, affirmations, meditations. Okay, these are just a few things that I do to make sure that my mindset is in the right place. And also, it helps that I'm a part of communities, as I mentioned before, where I can get together in these gatherings with other entrepreneurs who are at the top of their game, who are also going through times when things don't seem to be working as they should. So, one thing that can really make things magnified, especially the bad things, really magnified so that you think that, there's all doom and gloom, is when you self isolate or when you're alone and you're not a part of a paid community or even an unpaid community of colleagues who are going through similar issues like you, because it's not that you're a loner per se. You have your family, you have your friends, but are they all entrepreneurs? Are they all coaches or consultants like you? Okay. So this also comes down to, being invested or vested in your business as it relates to coaching. Because when you're in some of these coaching containers, that's when you're in circles with other people who are on a similar journey, running a similar business, and you can kind of pull on the insight from what they're going through, as well as the insight from the coach leading the program. Okay. So double down on your mindset work. The fourth thing is to be willing to step into student mode again. Ask questions of your colleagues, and where you see someone getting results um, or doing certain things with clients in the area where you are experiencing the challenge, get plugged into support from them, or get plugged into support, get a referral as to whether it's a coach or a community that you can lean on to support you with what you're going through, with the problems that you're having or the issues that you're facing. Okay. So, ask questions, I guess it ties into what I was sharing in terms of being curious, but specifically what I'm talking to here is seeing how you can get plugged in as a student to learn. It may mean learning new strategies, in which case, yes, you would need to invest in your business. So if you see a coach that's helping people through the kinds of problems that you are having, so if you can tie your problem to specifically visibility and you see a coach who's excelling at that, then see how you can get plugged in to how they are teaching, what they are teaching, whether it's a group program or one-on-one or a course. If you know that you're struggling in the area of sales, how can you get plugged into somebody who's excelling at it during the same times that we're all in, where you are feeling stuck around sales, but they're doing good? Maybe there's some new strategies or skills or techniques or strategies that you can learn to improve as it relates to sales. Okay. So be willing to step into student mode, be willing to step into mentee mode or coachee mode, right? Whenever there's something that you're working through and you don't have the skills to get you through it, you invest in support. If you are working on fitness or health and you don't know enough about it to optimize your fitness and health, then you plug into support that can get you through it. So it's the same for your business. It may be time to, if you're with the coach already, but you're still feeling stuck, possibly a coach a more pointed coach in the area where you're stuck, in addition to the other support that you're receiving in order to get through and overcome that phase of stuckness. Make sense? So those are the four things that I wanted to share with you, the four tips that will help you to work through the it's not working phase and achieve big results. So I want to share a reminder about the Coaches Roundtable and Webinar Hybrid that's coming up this Friday, the 18th at 3 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. I'd love to have you join me for this. Again, I am going to be capping it at 20 people. I highly encourage that you apply anyway to be a part of this, because if I host another gathering and you didn't make it to this one, you could possibly come to the next one. So it's going to be a high-level discussion with other coaches and consultants around what's working, what's not working, what has been a workaround for them, how they've been able to bring on clients, And I am going to be sharing with you what I have found to work from my own experience, from how I'm supporting my clients, as well as pulling some insight from my colleagues that I've been able to utilize in my business in order to see better results. Okay. So I'd love to have you there. Again, it's going to be a very high level meeting. Once you complete that form that I've put here in the caption or in the first comment, you're going to hear from me, just a confirmation that I've received your entry. And then on Wednesday evening or early Thursday morning, I'll let you know if you're going to be able to sit with us in the Coaches Roundtable meeting on Friday. Again, I'm capping it at 20 people, so I'll let you know if you're one of those that were able to make it for this gathering. And it's going to be a powerful discussion, and you're going to walk away with some insight as I go through the webinar portion of the meeting. Happening on Zoom, it's closed door, so it's not going to be live streamed to the Facebook group. And this is a room that you want to be in. Like I said, if you are a coach or consultant who's been bringing on clients via referrals or renewals or other organic means, but things have slowed down significantly. If you have used live launching, whether it's a masterclass or webinar or challenge or multi-day event to take on new clients, but your results using that method have been lower than normal. If you have an email list, as well as a following on social media that you're sharing your marketing messages, but you're getting crickets. People are not responding and you're not able to move your followers to the stage of actually booking consultations and calls with you so that you can talk more about your work. Definitely this is for you. And if you've set a target for a certain monthly sales volume, okay, whether that's 10K months or 20K months, but you can't seem to get there and you feel like you've exhausted your usual client acquisition strategies, you definitely will benefit from being a part of this Coaches Roundtable, okay? So go ahead, click the link that you see in the caption or in the comments section and apply to be a part of this. Hey, thank you so much. I see some reactions here, hearts and the like. I appreciate that. So click the link that I've shared here in the caption or in the first comment, and just to indicate your interest. I highly recommend that you do that as soon as possible, and then I'll get back to you late Wednesday evening or Thursday morning to let you know if you're going to be able to sit with us in this very small, intimate group on Friday. All right. So that's it for now. And if anything that I've shared today, because I did mention, I'd be remiss if I didn't say as a follow-up or continuation that outside of attending the meeting on Friday, I'd love for you to, again, apply for that. If what I'm saying to you describes in terms of what you're going through right now, and you do take my advice that maybe it's time to pull on some support so that you can get through this, because you know that time is of the essence. We're at the midway or just past the midway point of the year, and more of the same is only going to equal to more of the same. So if you continue to trying to grind through it and work through it, doing the same things you were doing before, which didn't work, then you won't be able to advance your business and achieve the results for this year, the growth that you had planned for. So if you'd like to see what it's like or hear how I can support you with this, as I mentioned to you, I'm a marketing strategist and business coach, and I support my clients to create a recognizable brand and create authority presence so that you're attracting targeted and aligned right fit leads who are not only interested in the work that you do, but they come in as a warm and hot lead because of the work that you're doing with your visibility and your authority and presence. They come in as a hot lead and you're able to work them through your client journey and into your programs. I help my clients to not only book, sometimes they book clients quickly, sometimes we're on a marathon, but you're going to be able to learn how to create certain marketing and business strategies and pillar-like items in your business that allows you to continuously bring in leads, allows you to continue to nurture them, and allows you to continue to bring them in your programs. My goal is for you to get to 6 figures in your business in a calendar year. Some of you may have already be at 6 figures in terms of the amount of money you've made throughout the lifetime of your business. But I want for you to be able to realize that in a year, because it's at that level that you're able to put even more systems in place that will allow you to take your business to multiple 6 figures and beyond, so that it's not just 6 figures for the business, but 6 figures and more net for you as a CEO. Okay. I'm on a mission to support you to do that with tried and true marketing strategies. I don't teach gimmicks or overnight success. It's all strategies that once you implement them, they're going to support your business to grow in a sustainable way. I want for you to do that without burnout. So I don't believe in you working your business, burning the midlight, burning the candle on both ends, as they say. I want for you to have time freedom, not just to relax or to sleep, but to be able to live your life fully. It's easy for us, especially as women, to really get it absorbed into what we're doing and to put all of ourselves into what we're doing and not give back to ourselves, not have time for self-care, not have time for personal growth, not have time to feed into causes that are important to us. And I want for you to be able to do that, because not only are you brilliant at what you do and are passionate about doing it, and I want for you to work with as many clients as possible, I want for you to, outside of that, put your passion into the other things that fuel you in terms of hobbies, in terms of causes, in terms of your community, in terms of family, in terms of life experiences like travel. I want for you to be able to pour into those areas as well and feel, the effects of that in terms of, the internal feeling of, yes, I feel like I did a good job. The admiration that you have for being able to have others benefit from your input, whether that's your financial input or your time input, or the energy that you're giving to other things outside of your business. Okay. So I am on a mission to help you with that. And I can do so using my gifts, my expertise, my experience as a marketing and business coach that has supported my clients to achieve milestone results in their businesses. I know I can support you as well. So if this is speaking to you, or what I just said is speaking to you, reach out to me privately. Let's have a no strings attached 30 to 45-minute consult. I'd love to hear what you're working on. I want to hear how you're doing your marketing, how you're doing visibility, and how you're bringing in sales. And I'll give you some insight as to what you need to focus on in order to get through your it's not working phase and be able to achieve big results in your business. And then I'll tell you about how we can do that together in one of my coaching containers. All right. So reach out to me privately if this is speaking to you. Let's have a chat there, and then we'll set up some time to have a consult. Okay. All right. So I will leave you at that. Leave you with that, rather. Let's see if I have any comments. Thank you so much for the hearts. Annie G. Okay. Hi, Steph. Thank you so much. All right. So I will jump off, and I hope to see you on Friday. So don't forget to complete that form. And again, reach out to me privately if you want to talk about what it would look like for us to work together. All right. That's it for now. Take care. Bye.